Oh, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have for WPL Season 8, Week 7, I believe. Yeah, this is Week 7. I am currently 1-5. My opponent this week is the OP Jellicent and the Toronto Leaf Storms. They are currently 6-0. So if he wins this game, I believe he is locked for playoffs. If I lose this game, I am eliminated from any hope of playoffs. If I win this game, I still have to win 5 more games to even make playoffs. So pretty much I'm not making playoffs. And he is. But will he make it to the playoffs this round? Or will I be eliminated from playoffs this match, this week of the season, the 7th week? Now, he is an incredibly scary team. Kieran Black, T, Azel, Fortress, Jolteon, and Diggersby is what he decided to bring. But there were definitely some big threats on his roster that he didn't bring. Mainly Mega Diancie. I didn't expect him to bring that, to be fair, but it's definitely a threat. He also had Virizion, which I was pretty afraid of with what I brought. I mean, it was not the best mod overall against my whole team, but against the mods I actually decided to bring, I was kind of scared of that. There was something else I was afraid of him bringing, but I cannot remember what that was, so I think it was the Entei, because, yeah, ignore that I have 2 water types, I was still afraid of the Entei, because it kind of beats everything else, so... Well, actually, I guess it doesn't beat the Donphan either, but you know what I mean. It's still a threat. Banded Entei is always a threat. But anyway, I actually don't remember like half my set or like anything other than I had Farium Z Donphan. I know I had that. I also had Aqua Ring Blastoise. Now, the reason for this was actually I wanted Blastoise to always be an Entei check. So I'd switch in on Entei, click Aqua Ring, because he's not going to stay in. He's going to click his fire move, whatever move he does, it's going to do nothing. I click Aqua Ring as he switches out, then I click Protect on the next turn, and I'm pretty much back to where I was before he even hit me. I think I would recover enough to be higher than I was if he hit me with a fire move. If he hit me with like Stone Edge, I think I'd still be lower than I originally was before he hit me with it, but you know, it still gives me a good chunk of health back. I also have Toxic and Scald on there, so yeah, or it might be an Ice Beam and Scald. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, let's get into this game. I did play this one like, oh, hang on, I did not just mess up, trust me. I wouldn't do that. There we go. Sorry about that. I did play this like a week and a half ago, I think. I played this very early in this week, and I'm recording this literally the day before it goes up. So yeah, it's been a while. I lead off with my Coco apparently, and he leads a Zelf. Now, one thing I noticed very much on preview is this team does not deal with Coco. As soon as I get rid of Jolteon and Diggersby, Coco is going to be putting in a lot of work. I believe Coco T-Bolt Oko's Torn and a Zelf, and Oko's Fortress if Sturdy is broken. And Kieran Black's definitely the other issue. But if I can get rid of the other 3, Coco really puts in a good amount of work against half his team at least. And even like HB Ice into Diggersby is going to do a lot. But I'm going to go for the Tome on U-turn, I do believe, onto his Jolteon, as I do. So this was a really obvious switch. There was no way he was going to stay in. Unless he was sashed, then he could have stayed in and potentially go Rocks up. But I figured because he had Fortress, that would be his Rocker, and the Azelf would probably be offensive. I mean, it could still be Rocks and the Fortress could be like Spikes, but I don't know. I could at least, and even if he does stay in and get those Rocks up, I at least break the Sash with U-turn, and then I bring in something else that can just knock it out, probably Keldeo or Sizzle. I'm pretty sure U-turn would put him in Keldeo range. But anyway, I U-turn out into my Donphan, and I get to click Earthquake here. I figured he doesn't really switch into that other than maybe other than Torn. He doesn't have, and Azelf actually. But I figured he would go Kieran Black, as it normally could Oko me, and if it's Z-move, it's still gonna Oko me. Even through Sturdy, because obviously it has Terravolt. But I'm just going to get like clean 50% off. And now I'm going to click my Z move, as I built this Donphan to take an Ice Beam from Kyurem and then just knock it out. I don't know if it could kill from full, but it kills it from here. So this is also... I also don't really switch in to this Kyurem, as he could just click his Z move if he has it here. Although I figured he'd Ice Beam, because he'd think it would kill me. But so he does. He does click the Ice Beam button, and I live it, and I get frozen. So Sohan really showing he is the most skilled player in the WPL. He's then going to knock me out with HP Fire, in case I went Sizzle. But now I go Sizzle, and I believe I click U-turn. I believe I predicted that switch. Yeah, I do. So, that sucks. Because the Kirim would be dead now, but now it's still alive, and yeah, that's unfortunate. Sohan's just the most skilled player in the league, honestly. Okay, anyway, he has this Torn, I have this Coco, and I think I actually click T-Bolt this time around as he goes Diggersby. I do. So, I figured it was a pretty okay play to go for just click T-Bolt there. Even though he had two very obvious switch-ins, I was thinking maybe he wouldn't go into them because they're so obvious. But he goes into Diggersby and then clicks Earthquake and does 50% of my Blastoise. Now here I actually go for Scold as he goes Kirim, and we do get the burn, which I mean, if I didn't get the burn it would be really unfair, but even getting the burn still makes this Kirim being alive a bit unfair, but luckily he does nothing with Fusion Bolt, and I can just Aqua Ring up and then click Protect, and then he doesn't really do anything to me, so that's nice at least. So, you know, even though the Kirim shouldn't be alive, at least it's not doing any damage at this point. Well, until I don't click Protect, which was definitely a big mistake. I didn't Protect this time because I figured he may switch out into his Jolteon on the Protect, so I could potentially get a Scold off as he just keeps attacking, which I guess was a play, but I feel like he should have kept this Kirim as a sack for later, but he doesn't. I believe this turn I go for Protect, as I don't want to let my Blastoise get too weakened, as it's still kind of a check for... Is it my Diggersby check? I guess it would be, because my team does not switch into that thing at all, especially if it has Fire Punch. But anyway, he goes to Zelf and clicks his Z move, and I sack Blastoise, so I guess I didn't want the Blastoise that badly. God, I'm terrible at remembering this game. I'm also terrible at commentating, because I haven't done it in like a week, and that's actually a while for me. So, yeah, anyway, I go Coco, and I click T-Bolt again, I think. Yeah, I was just, I don't know what I was doing at this point. I was pretty much being bad, which, I mean, is normal. But I go into my Keldeo, and I go into my Sizzle here on the off chance he doesn't click Fire Punch, as he doesn't click Fire Punch. Now I'm going to U-turn out on the Taunt switch. Now I'm going to double into my Keldeo in case he has Fire Punch. Then I'm going to double to my Coco on the Hurricane or Air Slash as he clicks Air Slash. Now I'm going to actually predict the Diggersby, because I'm not going to make the same mistake 3 times in a row. So it seems Sohan's always going to go into his check, which takes 60%, or sorry, 70%, and then he sacks off his Diggersby. Now, here, I want to explain this play, because I was going through those turns pretty fast, not really explaining anything, which is different to what I normally do. But anyway, this Diggersby was Choice Scarfed. I was pretty sure it was. So I went Keldeo into my Choice Scarf Keldeo, and he actually stayed in, which I can see why. No, I can't. I cannot see why. I guess he just didn't expect me to be Scarf Keldeo. It has nothing to do with something I put in the chat at this point. Nothing to do with that. So he does sack off Diggersby, which is really nice, as this was his best Coco check. And now if I get rid of Jolteon, I win this game with Coco. So that's cool. Now he brings out his Torn, as I'm going to actually click Hydro Pump, and he's going to hit me with a Sludge Wave and get a crit, which I actually do believe did matter. So that was fun. Sohan again, showing he's the best player in WPL. This time I believe I go for the U-turn, or the HPS. I do go for the U-turn, and then I bring out my Scizor, and I just click Bullet Punch, and that kills. Now, technically, if I min-rolled here, this Jolteon lives and probably kills me if it's like Specs. So at that point, I do believe I could have still lost this game. But now that he sacks this, I'm like really confident I have this game, you know? So he sends out Torn, and I'm just going to sack off my Hawlucha. I actually don't have the Electric Seed Lucha. I decided to run Banded this week, which is probably the biggest mistake I've made in this WPL season. And I've made a lot of mistakes. So, yeah, anyway, he's actually going to... I'm going to miss Stone Edge. So, again, Sohan is the greatest Pokemon player in the league. So, that would have done a lot. And if I wasn't Specs Coco, which I am, that would have lost me the game, because I would go Coco, and I would not kill this Torn as it was Assault Vest. Luckily I am Specs, But if I wasn't, I would have actually gone down to Sludge Wave, I believe, and that would have really, that would have been really bad there. So, yeah, that was that was very close to being unfortunate. Now I'm going to switch out on the Azelf into this Sizzle. At this point, Sizzle doesn't matter to me that much, and Coco wouldn't kill the Azelf with T-Bolt without the terrain. So I need terrain back up. Now if he sashes Elf, he could still win this game. If he sashes Elf and reads this switch and clicks Fire Blast, and then also has like HP Poison, I think that's I don't even know if that would kill Coco, to be fair. I think he may have to. Oh, he's already shown Electrium. I'm an idiot. So yeah, I made the switch knowing he's not sashed, so I can just win this game with Coco. So anyway, he's actually going to double to Fortress, which I didn't get that much, but I'm going to click Knockoff here. Knock off his red card, and he clicks Counter. This is where I actually could have been in a really bad spot if I had brought a different Sizzle. I almost ran Superpower over Knockoff. If I'd run Superpower, I would have clicked it here, been red carded out into my Coco, Coco would have died, and I would have had to rely on Sizzle to win this game. Which, you're gonna see it can, because it does. So I'm going to Swords Dance, I'm going to knock off this turn as he just vaults into his Zelf, which I didn't get. I didn't really understand that play since I actually do kill a Zelf with Bullet Punch, but he decides to switch back and then give me the 2-0 when he could have definitely conserved a 1-0. Loss, well, if I didn't conserve differential, which I wouldn't have, he could have had the 1-0 loss here, but he takes the 2-0 loss, giving us our second win in Season 8. Which, I mean, it's nice to have. I'm technically not eliminated from playoff contention yet, but, you know, we all know I'm not going to make it to playoffs, so it doesn't really matter when I get eliminated from that. But, yeah, good game to Sohan. He played terribly, as usual, against me, which isn't surprising, but, you know, one day he'll actually play well against me and not rely on hacks, but, you know, the last time he did that was like a year ago, so... Anyway... He's not in playoffs. He is not locked for playoffs yet, which means if he loses out, he could still miss playoffs, which, I mean, I hope happens, but I doubt it, unfortunately. But, yeah, that's going to be this game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Next week, we take on TPM Mike, or just Mike. So, yeah. Bye. I'm really good at recording. Really, really good. Really incredible commentator. I know. Bye.